Hey, I wanted to make a video here about our summative coming up. It's on how to identify which inequality goes with the verbal sentence and then how to graph the inequality on a number line. So I have some examples here of different statements. What we'll do is match them with the inequality. It's going to be one of these, or actually the threes probably go with the top, but then graph each one on a number line. So we have, I spent at least 3 hours sleeping. Well, I guess first, knowing what these signs mean. So an inequality is one of these, it uses these symbols, less than, greater than. The line underneath just means less than or equal to, or greater than or equal to. It's like a greater than and an equal sign combined. So if I had at least $10, I have 10 or more. Basically, that's another way of thinking about it. Or I ate at least 5 pieces of pizza, I ate 5 or more. So 5 is included in that. If I said I ate more than 5, then 5 wouldn't be included. It would have to be 6, 7, 8. It's just, does it include that number or not include that number? And it's tricky to find out sometimes. It's tough. But with more practice, you will get it in no time at all. I spent at least 3 hours sleeping. What does that mean? First, you should think, well, if somebody spent at least 3 hours sleeping, maybe substitute in some random numbers. Could they have spent 10 hours sleeping? Could they have spent 1 hour sleeping? If they spent at least 3, 1 wouldn't work. So the less than 3 isn't part of the solution set. It's the more than 3. More than including 3, because it's at least 3 hours, you would need this one, that x, which represents the amount of time sleeping, is greater than or equal to 3. At least 3, the amount of time sleeping is more than or equal to 3. Then the other situation, I slept for up to 3 hours. The amount of time you spent sleeping is less than or equal to 3. So if this were the amount of time sleeping, let's say that, you can't really have negative hours sleeping, but we'll start at 0. So I had no sleep, 1 hour sleep, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it keeps going, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The first situation was that I slept at least 3 hours, and that was x is greater than or equal to 3. So to represent this, you'll say 3, and I'm coloring this in because it includes 3 that I'm talking about. 3 is one of the possibilities of hours that I could have slept, and anything over, that's sleeping at least 3 hours. The other situation was sleeping up to 3 hours. And what does that change? It changes your sign. So it's less than or equal to 3 hours. Up to 3, but not more than 3. It just shows you what the possibilities are. I could have slept 0, 1, 2, or 3, but not 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, because it's just up to 3, not anymore. The next one is Mark has fewer than 6 pets. Fewer than. One of the key words it's going to use, less than. Less than 6. Fewer than 6. The number of pets I have is less than 6. Brian has more than 6 pets. More than 6. The number of pets is greater than 6. And you draw these. Here's 5. 5 pets, 6 pets, 7 pets, 8 pets. If the number of pets you have is less than 6, then the number of pets that you could own are all of these numbers over here, but not including 6, because you have less than 6 pets. You either have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, or 0, but not 6, because 6 isn't less than 6. So that's why it's not colored in, and there's no line underneath, because it's less than 6. If you have more than 6, all it does is change this sign to greater than 6, and it changes this arrow to be on the other side, but still doesn't include 6. If you have more than 6, you have 7, 8, 9, or 10, or 11. It could keep going, but more than 6, but not 6. Less than 6, but not 6. The way that you would say I have 6 or more would be I have at least 6. At the very least, I have 6, but I could have more. I have a minimum of 6 pets, you could say. That would include 6. But the wording is important there. So less than, more than, greater than does not include the number. So we'll clear these. And the last one, if you have some Savers tickets, do you have less than 0 or do you have more than 0? You have some, you have more than 0. You spent all your money and had to borrow some, so you had $0, and then you had to borrow some, so you actually have negative money, because that's how much money you have is negative. You didn't have any, and then you borrowed some. I guess you got some, but this one's a strange example. I would pick something different, like it's below 0 degrees outside. It's less than 0 degrees outside, or something like that. But we can graph those the same way, and it's right here, 0. I'll keep this here, but x is greater than 0 would be an open dot. Now, that's not a 0, it's a dot. And a line going to the right showing that x is greater than 0, but not 0. It's greater than it. And the other way would be less than. Remember, less than matches up with the arrow that's on the left. Kind of looks like an L too. Left, less. Looks like this arrow. This is x is less than 0, but not 0. Everything less than 0. So all of the negative numbers. That's how you can graph inequalities and how you match the inequality to the number line, or how you draw the number line. One last example here is, what if you looked at the number line and the number line said this? What does this represent? It represents all the numbers above 5, including 5, so x is greater than or equal to 5. And I'm going to go pretty quick, so feel free to pause if you need to. Less than or equal to 7. How do you draw that? Including 7, since it has a line, and everything less. So less than to the left, color in the dot because it includes 7. All right, let's try. What does this one show? Oh, let me redo my dot. This would be x or y or n, or the number, the variable is greater than but not equal to 4. It doesn't include 4, just greater than 4. All the numbers above 4. And this shows x is what? Less than 8. But not including 8. There's no x is less than or equal to 8. If there was a line under, I'd just color it in. That's the only difference. It's line under, color in the dot. No line under, don't color in the dot. All right, that's really all there is to graphing inequalities on the number line. So now you are masters at it. Good luck, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask.